Yeah.
Hello, and welcome to 97.9 Unity Radio, the best sports talk show in all of Worcester, Massachusetts, in all of Central Massachusetts, in all of New England. This is Moneyline. And next to me, he's so joyous and happy for the new year, the voice of reason himself, Cristiano.
It is. It's almost here. It's a new year. I feel like,
Did you do your resolution yet?
You mentioned, yes, I need to make more money. As you were talking about all this, it's an easy resolution. As you were talking about all those different areas in Massachusetts, it's like the unity. We're pulling them all in together as a listening band. Does that make kind of sense?
Yeah.
That's a unity. Unity. We're bringing the unity across the board here.
We are.
For sports talk.
Yes, and for everything, for all the content we do, because we're just such popular, polarizing, I would say, personalities. You know, it's tough to find three guys that can entertain and analyze and speak the truth and be the voice of reason like we can.
Really? Haven't you been to prison before? There's a lot of guys. I can find you three guys.
No, don't start, Frank. Don't start.
we all get demonetized that fast.
All of a sudden, the music will be in the background.
That's great.
So we had a great week in sports. We got to see some.
Who's the other guy?
Who's the? What do you mean the other guy?
The third guy. You said there were three guys here that were polarizing.
Well, there's you.
Yeah,
there's three of us.
Yeah, you introduced the third guy.
Well, I'm the third. I'm non-binary, but I'm still a man.
No, you didn't introduce Dave.
Well, yeah, Coach Schuman. He's the next great influencer.
Oh,
there we go. Wow.
Yeah, Coach Schuman.
Now I know he's going to iHeartRadio. Now we know he's going to iHeartRadio. That was my introduction.
I didn't want to leave you hanging, Dave. I mean, let's get the show started right away. Like, fuck, Dave's over there. What about him?
We got 1.06 followers on the Coach Schuman Sports and Entertainment.
1.06 followers? We have one follower.
So you took
1.06 million.
1.06 million.
It's 1.1 now. It's 1.1 million now.
He took an X.
We're up to 1.1.
He cut the legs off of one of your listeners to make 1.6.
Yes.
1.6 listeners. Yes. Very nice.
What body part went missing that we're at 1.6? So
it was the penis.
Oh, good golly!
John Holmes was listening in.
Good golly, you're nuts.
That's all right. It's on Unity.
I thought your show's supposed to be a family show here. 97.9 Unity.
It is Unity. We have great shows like Unity in the Community and Black in Business.
Black in Business.
Cannabis 101.
How come I'm not on Black in Business?
I don't know.
Why am I not a focal point of Black in Business?
Because I don't know if you can help the African American community.
How about me? I'm 20% Polynesian.
That's true. You are, but that's not Black either. I think you have to be Black to be on Black in Business. But I'll find out the parameters for you. We have to start off and talk about the astounding win by our Yukon Huskies against North Carolina at the Wasabi Bowl at Fenway Park. It was just remarkable. It was a remarkable experience, and Frank, I wish you could have been there.
Yeah, it was tough. I was actually working.
Yeah, I know. Well, I
have a hard time getting away on weekends.
You just got to quit your job.
That's what I have to do. I have to quit on myself.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Just quit your job, and that's what everyone else does. And you just get a check.
I get a check from the government. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's the way to go.
Yes.
But Dave was the star. Everyone was asking about Dave, wanting to know where he was, and saying how much they love his content, and we are making an impact everywhere we go. And I got to take a picture with a billionaire.
Did you donate to
who is the billionaire?
Blue?
Well, D'Amelio.
He's not a billionaire.
He's not?
No.
Oh, I thought he was a billionaire.
He has 1.6
Musk is a billionaire.
Well, what
1.7.
$1.7.
Well, the other guy, the Eric Bechtel that I was telling you about, he sat with John Henry in the owner's suite. So he's got to be John Henry, the owner of the Red Sox.
Oh wow, that guy's
sat in his suite. Yeah, so he may have more money than D'Amelio.
So have these guys donated to Bleeding Blue?
Well, D'Amelio does his own collective, so that's his thing.
Gotcha.
He works on social media branding, so he pulled me aside and was trying to give me some tips.
But that money that he gets goes to a little bit goes to Bleeding Blue. Nothing.
No, he's not affiliated.
That's the confusing thing about it all. None of it.
Yeah. He does his own thing. He helps the players promote themselves.
Yeah.
On social media.
Gotcha.
To get sponsorships.
They're two different
entities.
Yeah. I'm sure Steve would tell you, and I don't know what like relationship one has with the other or not, or or they're just completely.
Well, I mean, anyone can be a collective and sponsor someone. Like if Frank wanted to sponsor Skylar Bell, he could call him up and make him an offer. There's no rules behind that. But to try to run a true collective for an entire team is completely different. And they were saying
they're probably worth around $100 million, the D'Amelio family.
Okay, well, they're not billionaires, but they're
doing well.
They're well off. They're well off.
They're pretty good shape.
So I got a picture taken with a $100 millionaire who came to my party. I mean, that's impressive. That shows I'm a somebody.
Impressive.
I'm a somebody for him to come to my party.
There had to be a mistake.
Don't underestimate when you do something that people enjoy, the people that watch it. Don't be surprised by that.
No, I know. And I was trying to talk
others that don't want to give up their own money to be able to sponsor will try to minimize what you are doing so they can keep you at bay.
I was trying to talk to Phil and Burton about holding these type of event because guys just love to come and hang out. I mean, everyone had a ball. We had such a big showing, and everyone had fun just hanging out with each other, getting drunk, taking shots, catching up. That's all guys want to do. So why can't you plan a Bleeding Blue event in Boston for February? And I can get him a place for free. I can get him food and drink specials. I can do all that for him. And they should do that several places around the country because guys like to travel. I mean, guys would go to Florida. That was the big talk.
Well, what about around the Big East tournament? Shouldn't they do something around the Big East tournament?
I tried to talk to all the alumni and just to gauge where they were at. And the frustration among them was just immense. It's just crazy how they feel neglected. They feel like they don't matter. Nobody reaches out to them. There's no events. Teams get honored, but no football teams get honored. It's like crazy. And it wouldn't take much. So I sent Kevin Freeman a message on Facebook. I sent him I just posted Husky Hoops on Facebook, and it had the first showing had 1.5 thousand views, just the first showing of it. I'm like, look at this. I'm like, you're completely missing out on a platform that people want, and to not use it at all when you could get people to join the C Club, when you could get donations out of it. What do you want? What are you waiting for?
Well, the thing that a lot of people don't understand in media, see, the whole thing in media is the tendency is that people want to push younger, right? They want to push younger. The people who actually have dollars are not the younger people.
No, it's the older generation.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they don't want to listen to a
bunch of kids.
20-year-old tell them about football when they've been alive for 55 years and have watched more football than that person's ever even, blinked, right?
Absolutely.
So there's
Absolutely.
a balance of it. It's the same reason why if you watch Sunday football and they have that little panel of guys, it's the same reason why Jimmy Johnson is still on that panel and Bradshaw are still on the panel, because
they get
don't
Botox.
no one wants to watch I don't know. I'm trying to think of a player who just,
Tom Brady, not popular.
No, well, Brady's at least older. I'm saying guys who are like 29, retired, 30 years old. They don't want to watch them as much like
RG3.
A guy who's RG. That's a good example. He's pretty popular among young viewers, but most older viewers do not like RG3.
Don't give him the time of day. No, I agree.
So there's a balance to that, and there's probably a place for both, but obviously, but that's the thing that I think if you're talking about Yukon specifically, they have failed to understand that they don't alumni do not want to listen. They won't listen to people like you, people like me.
No.
They want to listen to people who've been around a little bit, who have some knowledge and are entertaining. But they don't want to listen to some person with blue hair talking about the football team. Just because we wear blue, our hair doesn't have to be blue.
The amount of people that came up and were so thankful of our shows and love our content. It was amazing. And I was just amazed at the people that showed up at the freaking party.
You did a great job, dude.
Well, my cousin set it up.
You deserve a ton of credit. You did. Seriously, you
was my idea, but my cousin set it up. My cousin picked the perfect place.
Where was it? Where was the place?
Cask in Flagon. It was right next to Fenway Park.
Gotcha.
But we had the whole back room to ourselves. And the bartenders loved us. They had great food for us, great drinks. And I was just shocked at the people that came. Phil came.
And you hosted it, so you paid for everyone?
No, I mean, we did it mostly for free.
Oh.
I didn't pay that much, but yeah.
For free.
Frank, listen to this, Frank. So
a couple $100.
The D'Amelio,
it should have cost thousands.
D'Amelio was there, and he told me that his daughters were there with him. His two daughters, and you're going to be blown away when you hear this.
I should have gotten pictures.
Two of them, they have 150 million followers, maybe more, maybe 200. So they're the ones that make the most money,
that's Charlie D'Amelio, and
yes.
His daughter dances on TikTok.
Yes, that's Charlie D'Amelio's father. They were there.
They were there at the party?
Opportunity, yes. He didn't even take a picture.
They didn't take a picture with them?
No, I took a picture with him.
With the father.
The daughters were there? Charlie and what's the other daughter? The two daughters. Charlie's the bigger one.
I met him. I mean,
and those girls branched out. I mean, the father runs the company. They have their own company that does. That's amazing.
Yeah.
My God, from just a young girl dancing.
Yeah, that's all it takes. That's all it takes. Maybe if I start dancing.
50 million herself now.
Right.
Charlie.
Yeah.
Maybe if I douse myself in gasoline and just set myself on fire, it would be a good shtick. I would only be able to do it once, but I mean, it would be a good shtick.
Your heirs would make a lot of money. Your heirs would make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's funny that North Carolina got a major influx in cash with the NIL collective as soon as Belichick came in. And Eric Bechtel knows the ACC commissioner. This guy, he is so impressive. He knows everything. He said that Belichick and Lombardi have been locked in a room together, and they're just mapping everything out, and they're just going through the transfer portal, going through.
Right?
Yeah. But it was odd because they didn't play their starting quarterback, and they didn't play their starting running back. Their starting running back who had 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns, and he was one of the leading receivers. Didn't play.
Is he in the portal?
I see. That's the thing. I don't know. I have no idea. It was just shocking.
Well, maybe was he a senior?
No.
Oh, he's not.
No.
Okay.
It was shocking to see what they came out with. They started a quarterback who was probably the 4th or 5th string guy. Did not take a snap all year long.
Huh.
That's who they started at quarterback. So they were a mess.
In the portal. Is it Caleb Hood?
Who?
The UNC running back, was it Caleb Hood?
He came back, but the starter was Omari Hampton. He's the guy who rushed for 1,500 yards.
Okay, got it.
The other guy, he played, but by the fourth quarter, they resorted to the single wing.
Maybe Belichick pulled a smart move here and wanted to lose the game on purpose to tell the alumni, look how bad we are. We need your money.
Well, he's keeping Freddie Kitchens, who was the head coach.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to keep anyone on the rest of the staff, but it was just good to see the Yukon alumni. We traveled well. We showed up. The stadium was nearly packed, and I think that'll go a long way to at least help us get into a conference. And then looking ahead to next year's schedule, we realistically could win 8 games again or 9 games. It's virtually an identical schedule besides Georgia State, UMass. We play Syracuse, FIU, UAB, UMass. They have 10 games on scheduled right now, so they have 2 more to announce. But I give them all the credit in the world for what they did.
If we go 12-0, do we get into the final 12?
No chance in hell. Not with that strength of schedule. No, we're not playing anyone. Unless Syracuse wins the ACC.
FIU and UMass.
I mean, that's what Burton was telling me about it. That Burton was talking to me about it, and he's like, "I want to win it all." I'm like, "Dude, we're playing UMass and UAB. Like, we're not going to win it all." Like, Cincinnati had gone undefeated before and not even gotten into the playoffs. So that's
why. Oh wow, our schedule next year is atrocious.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Central Connecticut, Syracuse will be a good game.
We open up with Central Connecticut State,
then Syracuse,
right? Syracuse,
then
Delaware, right?
Then Ball State.
Yep.
Buffalo, FIU, Rice, UAB, Duke, and UMass.
It's a good basketball schedule.
That's 10 out of the 12 games. And Dave, this season, we only beat 1 team with a winning record.
Is that true?
And I know that you don't control your schedule. You just play whoever shows up. But 1 team with a winning record. And
I think that the schedule does make a difference. I look at Colorado, who for the most part they kind of had a favorable schedule this year.
Well, everyone should. I would not play.
So, my point is, they played the games they lost were to good teams, not elite teams, but the teams that played tougher schedules, like Kansas State, and then BYU whooped them. And it's really just because I think Colorado. Obviously they were good, but their schedule wasn't an elite schedule.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. But there's no reward to playing an elite schedule because if you lose, you're right. Basically. I mean, if you lose, then you have to win your conference.
The only reward is if you're in like the SEC, Big 10, or Big 12, you can get into the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean that's really it.
Otherwise, if you're in the other conferences. Play crappy teams, win 9-10 games.
You need to get those 4 wins. So at worst, if you can get 2 conference wins, you're bowl eligible. That's how I feel about it. And you saw the difference, SMU and Penn State. My God, Penn State just destroyed them. Frank, did you watch that game?
I watched part of it. Yeah.
I mean,
It just looked like SMU was the deer caught in headlights.
They look completely.
They haven't been to the big stage before. They haven't been to a big game like that, and everything possible went wrong. Everything was put on the quarterback's shoulders, and he had a it was, I don't know if he could consider a meltdown, because no one really gave him a lot of help around him. But I just think that he had a bad game, and he's their focal point.
Well, and now they're going to go back because the playoffs will be revamped in 2026. So
they got to just stick with it. Every year it's a crapshoot.
No. They want to reduce the number of Group of 5 schools they can get in. I think the only Group of 5 school that got in was Boise.
I don't think. Yeah, but I don't think any of those picks they had were wrong. I think what they put in was right. Everyone keeps saying Alabama had 3 losses.
Yeah, I agree with you, Frank.
After a while, those, no matter who you're playing, if it's a tough schedule or not,
they're saying that Bama should have gotten in over like SMU.
I understand it, but
I understand it's a blowout, but it's boring. I mean, I'm tired. I don't want to see the same teams.
The same teams over and over.
And you know what will happen? SMU, because they made the playoff, they will get an influx of capital. And now
they already have. Yeah.
Who else? Who were the other teams that got blown out in that?
In the first round, Tennessee. Yeah. Tennessee got blown out by Ohio State.
Who else?
I will check, but I just remember
Notre Dame beat.
Notre Dame.
Indiana. They will get an influx of capital.
Indiana.
Right.
Indiana will get an influx of money. So
it was 27-10, so it wasn't that bad. But
so the flip side of that is like those teams now, because they'll get some more NIL money, because donors will give money, and they'll get some better players, and so maybe they can become consistently good. And then another team does that, next year. Let's say Syracuse wins 10-11, goes 11-1, and they get in or something.
I don't think they will without Kyle McCord, but
I know Kyle McCord was awesome.
Let me tell you something. I was just going over it mental yesterday because of the whole Giants win throwing the draft order off, right? So now I'm thinking,
it did?
Oh, absolutely. The Giants went from having the first pick in the draft to they're in the 4th position right now.
Oh, wow.
Because Drew Lock decided to become Jesus Christ for a day. And I think he scored 4. He threw for 4 TDs or ran for 1 and threw for 3. Or
it still had Joe Flacco, had more better statistics, I guess.
Than Drew Lock?
Yeah.
No, he didn't. Yeah. Not in that game yesterday.
Yeah.
Drew Lock, I just saw this. I just saw this on another network.
Threw for 330.
Exactly. Drew Lock had the percentage-wise, I forget what stat line they used, but he was one of 5 players to accomplish what he did in an NFL game in the last, 30 years or 40 years.
I'll look at the box score.
And I don't know if it's not quarterback rating. They were saying something else, Dave. I can't remember what the baseline was of their evaluation, but they said it was Tom Brady in 1 year. Peyton Manning did it twice.
I see.
And one other guy, and then Drew Lock.
Well, he was 17 of 23 for 309 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Right.
So the QBR was 97.5.
It wasn't a QBR. It was something else that was a 1 point something. I don't know. I don't know what the metric was.
The rating was 155.3. But I'm sure it's got to be 17 completions.
Whatever it is, he had an ungodly stat line, an ungodly game, and he decided to do that when the Giants needed him to really stink the place up so they could secure the first pick in the draft. So now I'm thinking, all right, if the Giants are in 4th position, let's say Sanders and Cam Ward are gone in picks 2 and 3, because both those teams that are sitting there now need quarterbacks.
Travis Hunter, you don't think
Travis Hunter will go 1? Let's say Travis Hunter goes 1 to who's got the first pick? Is it Carolina?
It could.
Or no, New England. I'm sorry, it's the Patriots
or Jacksonville.
It's the Patriots. The Patriots right now, I think, are in the first.
Definitely take him. Yeah.
Right, they want Travis Hunter without a doubt. So then the 2 quarterbacks go next. So the Giants are up. I'm running in my head. I'm running a scenario that Kyle McCord may be one of the better, if not the best, quarterback coming out in this class as far as a pure pro pocket drop back passer.
Right.
I think he's
but
good.
his name is
Yeah, you can't. I mean, and he played solid competition all the way through, from being at Ohio State and then being at Syracuse, and the schedule was. I mean, he played, and he's the all-time. He's a single-season leader in passing yardage for the ACC. I mean, you may be. There may be. I'm sure he'll be scouted and looked up and down now, but there may be some teams that pass on this guy, and he may fall a lot lower than he should. He may be a successful NFL quarterback.
I don't doubt that.
McCord.
Kyle McCord.
I agree.
If Jalen Hurts can be a successful quarterback, then I definitely.
But Jalen Hurts has more in the package. Okay, when you're as lethal a runner as you are a thrower, then you have a lot more to offer. But the NFL teams basically, and then let's pull that back a second. NFL teams are looking for that right now. They're looking for that next Lamar Jackson. They're looking for the next Jalen Daniels.
Right.
They want that. I mean, Jalen Daniels had 125 yesterday rushing. I mean, I
know he did.
That's along with 221 passing. I mean, those are insane stat lines. And then he's a one-man wrecking ball right now, and that's what NFL teams are really looking for. But if you can't find that, then they want the pure pocket drop back passer. And that's where McCord falls in. But Jalen Hurts is a different animal. When you can run like he runs, your dynamic potential is expanded in the NFL. And that's what the NFL teams are looking for that first. Well, but they don't find that guy, I'm telling you, Kyle McCord may turn out to be a very successful, like a Drake May pick. I don't know. I don't know
if we'll go that high. But
I'm not saying he's going to go 1 or 2 or whatever.
May was 4.
Right.
But he'll be top 10.
For a team that needs a quarterback, and the first 2 guys are gone.
It's a very poor quarterback class.
Right, it is. But I mean, once those 2 guys are gone, once Ward and Sanders are gone,
yeah.
I mean, I think McCord is. I think McCord is the next guy to be taken.
What were your thoughts on You're frozen. On the reservation, the Redskins defeating the Falcons of Atlanta.
Yes.
But your thoughts on Michael Penix Jr.?
What we talked about at the beginning. I think that's the right. This guy will be good.
Yeah,
he will be good. I mean, I loved him in college. I love when he came out in college. I thought definitely, he'd make a great pro. I didn't understand the situation in the beginning, but I sort of did when you got Kirk Cousins. But
he's guaranteed.
Yeah, right, and he's gone at the end of the year.
Well, he's not gone at the end of the year.
He'll be gone at the end of the year.
You think they're going to pay him the dead money?
Either that or trade him. Oh, well. And a team that needs a quarterback like the Giants may take him and plug him in there for 2 years until the quarterback class is correct.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see. You know what I mean? I could see that happening because I don't see Kirk Cousins as $150 million backup.
But you think Penix is definitely the answer.
Penix is the starter.
He should go
without a doubt
all the way through.
Without a doubt. You can see the confidence level. I mean, it's the kid's basically his second game.
Yeah.
And he's got a cannon for an arm.
He does.
His decision making has been excellent. I mean, he had his first touchdown pass yesterday when it really counted with 2 seconds left. But you can just see he's comfortable in the pocket. He's fearless. He stands in there. That's what they want.
Yeah.
I think this is Atlanta's future. Hopefully, they build a line around him, just like I hope the Redskins build a line around Daniels. Because you got to keep that guy upright and you got to keep him healthy. They should learn from the RG3 mistake that happened in 2000.
That was more Shanahan.
That was Shanahan, but you still got to listen. You got to surround your guy needs to run, but you can't put handcuffs on him, but he needs to run selectively because even the best and the strongest get the crap kicked out of him in that league.
They do. Dave, what did you think of Penix in his second start?
I think Penix is a really good quarterback. I think Penix was the only reason he was lower in the draft is because he's older,
and he was injured,
and he had the 2 ACLs. I think right, he had 2 ACL.
Yep.
So the question is, how long will he last as a pro? But I don't think I think his ability was there. I thought he was great last year in college. I think he shows the same kind of skill set. I think he's really a drop back guy. Like I know at one time he ran and kind of stuff like that, but there's no, just from a preservation standpoint, he doesn't really need to run, and he's a good enough passer that he doesn't need to do that. I see him more as a drop back guy. Who can do yards if need, because he is fast, but he
is, but he looks throw first.
Listen, the coolest cat on the field right now in the NFL is JD5, Jaden Daniels.
Oh,
I know. He has, I don't know how many, is it 5 or 6 victories where he's come from behind this year?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, bottom line, it doesn't matter what happens. You watched that game yesterday. Receivers dropped the ball a couple times, right? Yep. They had a boatload of penalties in the first half. Cool as can be.
No, he led the team in passing and rushing.
I'm telling you right now, the guy is he's unflappable right now. Granted, hopefully that lasts through his whole career.
They just got to protect him.
But they need. Hey, they went with 2 backup linemen last night.
Yeah,
they had two guys went down in the middle of the game, and they were running the ball. They were running the ball in Atlanta. So I mean, there's so many positives. Their secondary is terrible, but there's so many positives to take out of what happened last night, especially getting into the playoffs. You have to realize something.
So Washington clinched.
Yes, as a lifelong fan, it's been a 30-year drought.
Yeah,
since we've had 11 wins.
I know.
Okay, 30-year drought.
I thought Brunel led them to like 10-6.
To 10, yeah, but since we got to 11 wins, 30-year drought. So you got to realize this has been social media, at least on my end, because I follow a lot of Commanders, Redskins, whatever you want to call them, a lot of their fans, fan bases, and all that. Yes, thank you. Social media has exploded in the Maryland, the DC area. And it's great to see. I mean, the stadium was rocking; it was so loud. It's bringing back football we need to see.
All right, that's what I wanted to ask you about the stadium situation, because apparently there's a chink in the armor there or something with it passing. The old stadium is actually still there. Upright?
No, RFK was destroyed.
Oh, okay.
But they're in
Laurel, Maryland now.
Right. But and I've been to that field, and it's a dump.
Yeah,
it's a 4-mile parking lot. Basically, they just dropped a box in the center of a 4-mile parking lot, and they made a stadium out of it.
Right.
And FedEx dumped money for 10 years, whatever the hell they paid for it for a spot. Now it's something else. I forget what they call it. But bottom line, they're going to bring the stadium back to DC.
Right.
Downtown.
Right.
And that is almost like what comes across America when they move hospitals downtown. It rejuvenates, right? They're expecting an influx of traffic and people. You're going to bring life.
A community.
You're going to bring life to that downtown.
To build the economy.
You're going to bring a fan base. Exactly. You're going to bring excitement.
People don't go to restaurants in these suburban. Even Giant Stadium, or whatever it's called now. MetLife. People listen. They have that mall there, and that's the only people will go there a little bit because of that. It's in a suburban area, dude. People don't go. Now think about Yankee Stadium. Totally different. People hang out in like those bars and those restaurants around there. They go to it. So if you're in a good downtown area somewhere, it is a home run for that city.
Yeah, and I think DC is going to thrive from that. It's just going to brings back the level of enthusiasm for the game. Right now, it's so distant, and especially with the losing over the last X amount of years, now finally have a contender. You finally have somebody hitting the playoffs and some positivity at the biggest position, which is quarterback. And I can't tell you the rundown of quarterbacks that Washington has had in the last 15 years.
I know.
I mean, it's atrocious.
I know.
One guy was on social media, and he had every quarterback's jersey, because he's this Redskins fan. He had names I don't even remember. I don't even remember these names. It's crazy, but it's a great feeling right now if you're a Redskin fan.
The other question, again, we've talked about Minnesota beats Green Bay. Sam Darnold plays out of his mind again. We've had this debate about his contract situation. They're going to the playoffs. They still may win the NFC North. I still believe they have a chance at that. Do we give Sam Darnold an extension? How long and how much? Are you still going to force him to play one more year before you give him the 3 years, the 2 years?
Yeah. Well,
He's got 3 years
listen,
regardless.
If both parties are smart, both parties meet in the middle. All right, you want 3 years? Take a little bit less and stay in Minnesota. You're comfortable here. You're comfortable with the staff. You're comfortable with the system. You're comfortable with the players. The fans love you. It's a win-win. If you go somewhere else, you know what? You may get $10 million more a year, $15 million more each year, right?
You may
get
out,
and you may flame out like you did when you were in New York. You may have a cup of coffee like you did when you're in Carolina. You know what I mean? Or you may be sitting on the bench like you were in San Francisco. So bottom line, let's make it work salary cap wise. Let's make it work lengthwise for him, and let's make it work for the team so they can still have a way to get other players to be able to continue the streak that they're doing right now as far as winning. I think it's a win-win if both sides sit down and they're kind of agreeable. But I would
think 3 is the magic number.
I think I can't do any. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it anymore. It's not going
to be 5. It's not going to be 4.
No, I wouldn't do any more. You got to look. What about the Deshaun Watson contract?
Well, that's
you can't
why
go 5 or 6 or 10. You can't do that.
Tua got it too. Tua got 4 or whatever. Daniel Jones got 4.
Yep.
And it blew up in their face.
It's too long because
the NFL.
A lot can happen in 3 years, in 2 years. I mean, you can go from gold to bust in 2 years.
Dave, what do you think about the Viking situation? Sam Darnold, do you think 3 years with his production this season?
You mean what should they sign him to? Like a new agreement?
Yeah,
1 year.
Yeah, he's on a 1 year deal. You would only give him another year. Just 1 year.
1 year, dude. Show me again that you can do it. No fucking way.
No,
that was my point on saying 2 years. I'm going to give you 2, and no more than 2.
I can see 2. I can see it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's the reason. I mean, they're completely playing out of their mind. Now, obviously, he has a lot of talent.
Fantastic. Okay, now do it one more time.
Right.
Okay. So if he does it one more time, then will you give him a 4-year contract?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
You see the picture of Darnold and Baker Mayfield side by side in Carolina Panthers jerseys?
Yes,
they were both on the team at the same time.
They were.
They were both on the team at the team, and neither one could eke out could beat out who's a quarterback when they were there. Right. You have no idea, right? Yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah, right. Imagine that.
Nobody who was good.
It's insanity.
But Sam Darnold, 4,100 yards passing, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. I mean, that's unbelievable.
He's played great.
That's absolutely unbelievable. That's such an incredible turnaround.
Pay the man.
Yeah. No, I listen. I agree. And Green Bay's
big money. That's
right now.
Fair.
Now, here's a question. Will they fade out like the Kirk Cousins Vikings did when Kirk had fantastic couple years, got him into the playoffs, and then all of a sudden you see him out after the first round?
He can't lose in the first round.
Right.
That's the one thing that has killed everyone.
Did you see your former Commanders head coach, the Jets,
Ron Rivera? Yes. Oh my God. And Rex Ryan. If the Jets, Rex Ryan, I would take.
Rex Ryan, no doubt. I like Rex Ryan.
I would take. If the Jets take Ron Rivera, they might as well take their future and flush it down the toilet for 10 more years after that. I can show you proof in 3 years how Ron Rivera ruins a franchise. I can show you a franchise in more than 3 years either, but I can show you a franchise that and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, that in 6 years of drafting number 1 picks, none are with the team any longer.
Linebacker got released.
Yeah, from Kentucky.
The one you hated.
The one I thought, Najee Harris. I can show you a list of first round picks under the Rivera regime that are no longer with the team. How's that scouting evaluation? So what would he do to the Jets draft picks? What would he bring in to benefit New York and that team? Nothing, please.
Well, I mean, it's unbelievable. And then you look at Philly and you look at Dallas, and Philly starts Kenny Pickett, and they drop 41 on Dallas.
The third stringer came in and threw a TD pass,
and Tanner McKee,
because Pickett got hurt.
Is Mike McCarthy? Is there any chance in hell he's coming back?
Dave, that's your team.
Yeah,
Please, no.
And Saquon Barkley went over 2,000 yards.
Dave, did you see this also on social media? Jerry Jones was at the Eagles Cowboys game, and he's on the field early on, and there were fans in the stands, and they were chanting, they were loving it. They were saying, "Jerry, keep it up. You're doing a great job. As Philadelphia Eagle fans, we love the work you're doing this year. Keep it going." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm trying to help you out there. I'm just doing my part."
Oh my God,
Dave, I have to ask.
Jerry Jones, man.
Yeah, he's never going away.
The owner should never be the GM.
No,
that should be an NFL rule. If you own the team, you can't be the general manager.
I think he's the only one.
Yes. I thought his son was a GM. No.
Assistant.
Yeah, assistant.
Steven's the assistant.
He's a GM.
Well, Steven may be the GM, but
in name only.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow. I mean, do you think he has a shot, Dave, at being the MVP?
No.
Just because of how poor they are. They're 8-8.
He was terrible.
Yeah.
Well, listen, they may make the playoffs.
Well, I mean, they still have
a slim shot at making the playoffs.
Yeah, they do. No, they do.
If they make the playoffs after that 0-3 start, I mean, how many teams have made the playoffs from an 0-3 start?
It's very, very slim.
Right.
The percentage is very, very slim.
And then he's had an ungodly year.
Yeah. No, he has.
I mean, I would throw him in there. Would it be Saquon Barkley as the MVP?
Saquon Barkley just passed 2,000 yards.
I don't see how you can't make him the MVP.
I would give it to him.
Right.
I really would.
Now, here's the thing that they were talking about.
I mean, Josh Allen
in the Eagles game, they were talking about does the coach Sirianni of the Eagles play Barkley next week, or do they rest him for the first round game?
Yeah, I think you got to rest him.
You got to. No, right. They were saying they're leaning more towards no matter what, they're going to rest him.
Well, do they still have a shot at the number 1 seed?
No, it's about the record. Can he break Dickerson's record?
Right. Because he needs 101 yards.
Yeah.
He needs 101 yards to break Dickerson. They have to, in my view, they do. But you know what? He said that they're firm on saying that they'll probably hold him out. I can't say. You think Saquon's going to be like, yeah, man, hold me out? You think he wants to get in there and play and break that record? Are you kidding me?
Well, again, it's the whole FU season to the Giants.
Oh, without a doubt.
That's what it's all about. It's all about FU New York.
Yeah, and as it should be.
You let me go. You told me to test free agent waters.
Right.
And didn't give a hoot. And I left.
And the year before, you gave Daniel Jones 4 years and $180 million.
And then cut him.
Right. And then cut him.
Which is the worst. How about the quarter? What's his name? Drew Lock going and blowing up there.
Ruined everything. He ruined the next 5 years for the Giants.
Throw the ball over the yard. I love it.
He ruined it. He ruined everything for Dayball and Shane, and they're all screwed.
The Raiders too. The Raiders ended up winning a game and puts them in like the 8th spot now.
Yep, the Raiders beat New Orleans,
and everybody's like, "Oh my God, we're going to take another guard from Iowa State in the first round."
So again, I mean, the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. The Bills. They clinch the number 2 seed, and they win the AFC East with the route of the obviously tortured hell on earth Jets. I mean, they're living in hell on earth.
Aaron Rodgers pulled himself out of the game yesterday.
Yeah, I think he's had enough. I mean, 18 passes. He was 12 of 18 for 112 yards and 2 picks.
Yep.
I think he's had enough.
They went to the coach. I think I've had enough today. You get the backup warmed up, please.
Yeah, I think like
that's
Tyrod Taylor came in, threw 2 touchdowns. He played pretty well.
Blows my mind that guy has checked out.
Well, I think he was checked out last year.
Right. But I mean, so he's checked out. So I mean, some people are like, "Well, keep him for one more year." You know, you got him. What benefit are you going to get out of that?
Well, it's just what else is out there? Your options
Kirk
are
Cousins.
Daniel Jones,
Kirk
Russell
Cousins.
Wilson's as free agents.
Kirk Cousins. Trade for Kirk Cousins.
I don't think you have the capital because you traded away quite a bit, I thought, to get Rodgers.
They got money. Just pay luxury tax. That's all.
Look, there's no luxury tax in football.
It's basketball.
It's baseball.
Baseball and basketball.
Yeah,
Pay luxury tax.
But again, it still blows my mind that 14 points with they do have talent on offense, and they're obviously checked out and they can't wait to get home. And
that defense, which was stellar for 2/3 of the year, so it gave up 41.
They won more games with Zach Wilson and Trevor Siemian than
we talked about
Aaron Rodgers.
We talked about Zach Wilson.
Like, unbelievable. Well, Zach Wilson, he's still not having a resurgence. I don't care what.
No, well, I mean, Bo Nix has obviously secured that position.
Yes. Bo Nix, smartest pick in the draft. I mean, nobody expected that out of him. And he's gravitated to Sean Payton in his style. And then you have, obviously, Carolina and Baker Mayfield. Tampa Bay comes in, beats Carolina. Tampa Bay and that NFC South is just, there's still a log jam of a mess. But 5 touchdown passes he throws, and he's keeping their playoff hopes alive. Baker Mayfield and Tampa Bay, with the offense they have, the receivers getting healthy, do you see them making the playoffs, and do you see them being dangerous and going on a little bit of a run like they did last year?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do. I see them being in the mix. I see them having potential to do that. I don't see why not. They've got players at star positions that can handle the pressure. They've been there before.
They have.
You got an 11-year veteran, Mike Evans, out there. I mean, Mayfield is having such a resurgence. From Baker went from playing scout D line for Carolina last year. They had pictures of him. He was lining up as scout team as a defensive lineman.
No, it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago. I'm sorry, right now. I said 2 years ago. He's lining up as scout team defensive lineman.
His numbers are
to throwing 5 touchdown passes against him. Yeah. So I see. Yeah, there are a few teams that can be dangerous, that can catch fire. I see Tampa as being one of them. I don't see why not.
Dave, he's got 4,200 yards passing, 39 touchdowns to 15 interceptions. I mean, you got to give the guy credit. I mean, that's unbelievable that he has turned things around as well as he has. Him and Sam Darnold. I mean, I think they should split comeback player of the year award.
Yeah, I agree.
Mayfield had a great year last year too, but Sam Darnold should be the comeback player of the year.
Yeah, I mean, Baker Mayfield's had an unbelievable season. I mean, he is finally doing what you hoped he would. It shows you how poor some organizations are, like the Browns.
Well, as you and Frank
Carolina, and they're so poor that the Jets. Like you could point to the quarterback killing organizations, and they're just
easily.
That Shedeur Sanders already said he won't go. He won't go to the Browns. He won't go to.
Oh, I'm sure he won't.
He said he won't go.
He drives a Rolls Royce. He can do whatever the hell he wants.
What's that?
He drives a Rolls Royce. He can do whatever he wants. Yeah, Travis Hunter can come back if he wants. I mean,
well, true. But Shedeur does not want to go to where did I see it? He said he will not go to. I don't know. I know Browns was one of them.
He's not going to be very easy to deal with. I'm pretty sure about that. Well, he's going to be tough.
I wonder. After that game, I wonder how good he is.
Well, they were checked out. They really seemed checked out against BYU.
They did seem checked out. Yeah.
They seem checked out, and I have thought that he has been overrated. He came from Jackson State, followed his dad. They put him in position to succeed. I mean, he was the entire offense. He did it all. And I think that they could have spread things around a little bit more instead of making him the focal point. And obviously, his dad wants to set him up for life and make him the first pick in the draft.
Well, he has set him up for life.
Yeah, I mean, he has. He really has. But looking at the college football playoffs coming up, we have New Year's Day, big day, and New Year's Eve, there's one game. But Texas, Arizona State. I believe it's the neutral site game. And let me tell you, this is the other thing Eric Bechtel told me. Eric Bechtel, my new best friend. I just hope he gives us some money. He said that Belichick offered $10 million to Quinn Ewers or Arch Manning to come play there, to enter the transfer portal and come there. So whichever one of you wants to come, you got $10 million guaranteed.
Wow.
And he said Belichick's already working it. So that is interesting. That is interesting to see if one of them takes up that offer. Because Arch had said, they planned that he was going to sit for 1 year. He wasn't going to sit for 2. And he's ended up sitting for 2 because Quinn caught fire this year. But Frank, what do you think about Texas and how they handled the quarterback situation?
I mean, the incumbent starter, unless he shouldn't lose his job, especially an injury.
Right.
So I think the way they played it is fair. I mean, and Ewers hasn't really disappointed to the point where, man, we got to bring in Manning.
Right.
And when they did bring in Manning, sometimes, Manning didn't look the sharpest out there, right? As far as, for the accolades and rating that he has. So, bottom line, they're in a good situation. They got 2 guys that have both seen time.
Yep.
Both are basically starters.
Yep.
One goes down, you got another one right away.
You got
that
2 Heisman candidates.
That comes in very handy, So, I mean, getting $10 million, I mean, that's a lot of money, man. But
they got it.
If they got it, and if I'm Manning, and I might as well go play for Belichick because
he'll get you ready for the.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody, do you? All right, so do you think like Peyton and Eli and was it Cooper Manning, or I forget what that is?
It's Cooper's son.
Cooper's son, right? So don't you think they'd be advising him as well as like, hey man, listen, Texas is a great thing and all that. I don't disagree, but you're going to go to North Carolina. You're going to
get $10 million.
You're going to get, besides the $10 million,
which is more you're going to get out of your rookie contract.
You're going to get tutelage by the best NFL head coach that there's been right now in the game, has won as many Super Bowls, and you're going to have a pro staff, and you're going to be in a pro system. So bottom line, what would you say? They'd be like, yes, let's go. Tar Heel.
Dave, what's your feel on this? And, it's obviously a tricky situation.
What's my feel on it? What's my feel on what?
He's having some. He's fade out on the late show. We got to get you to bed soon.
He's having some background issues right over there. Sounds like there's a party going on in the kitchen.
Arch Manning and Quinn
Ewers. $10 million. Yeah.
Belichick offered.
So my thought is this: simply, Belichick could do whatever he wants. If he gets either one of those guys, he'll be immediately relevant to his team, and that's why he wants one of the 2. Texas is in a situation where they probably have the 2 best pro style quarterbacks,
and Quinn has 1 year left.
Right, Quinn is and Manning has what, 3? I guess
2.
Left?
2.
Yeah. Well, let's put it like this. I guess Quinn is dropping has dropped a lot.
He has
draft wise.
He has. So yes.
I think that's part of the issue.
He may come back for his last year. Yeah.
And Arch thought he would be gone, so he would have 2 years, and now it's a situation where he's not.
He won't sit for 3rd. Right. You're right. Yeah, it is tricky.
Hey, if the Fighting Belichicks want to beat Yukon, they're going to have to do something at quarterback. So,
and this
that's running through Belichick's mind right now. We got to be Yukon. We got to be Yukon. We got to be Yukon.
I wanted to let you know.
Yeah,
Texas is favored over Arizona State.
They are
13 points.
Wow.
What is your feeling on that?
I'll take ASU
that's
plus 13. I'll take, I mean, that's my partial alma mater. I was only there for a year, but
that's disrespect.
I would listen. I watched several Arizona State games this year.
You did.
Okay. Bottom line, you can't underestimate him.
Well, their running back is good.
The running back is good. The quarterback is good. They have an NFL caliber wide receiver ready.
They're my favorite running back in college football.
Yeah,
you like favorite. I like Ashton Ginty, but my second favorite. Scadaboo is just
So I mean, I think that the matchup is up front. If Arizona State can have some success against Texas's D line, I think you'll see a game. Yeah, I really think you'll see a game because then if you can put some points on the board. So I take the 13. I'll take Arizona State plus 13.
Dave, Ohio State, Oregon. Ohio State's favored by 2.5. Oh, I'm sorry, OSU.
Yeah, OSU is Ohio State.
Why that? Holy crap! They're out of their minds. They're favoring Ohio State, and the over/under is 53. Whoever predicted this is the stupidest person on the planet. Ohio State's not beating Oregon. Are you out of your mind?
I'm taking Ohio State in the game.
No. Ohio State stinks.
I'm taking Ohio State in this game.
Stinks in big games.
I'm taking Ohio State in this game.
Dave, please be the voice of reason because Frank obviously lost his title.
I'm taking Oregon. I'm rooting for Oregon too, but
there's no way. Why would the odds makers make it 1 point? I know it's a neutral site and all. It's at the Rose Bowl. Maybe, I mean, that's why, because Ohio State's played there, but Jesus, that's nuts. Then we have Penn State, Boise State. Penn State minus 11 against Boise State. Do you think the Cinderella story ends for Boise State?
Absolutely not. Boise State beats Penn State.
You're riding Boise State. I know it. You're riding.
They're going to limit their possessions. They're going to run the ball. Penn State.
James Franklin, I don't like him. He's bald.
Notorious in losing these 14-12 games.
Yeah.
21-18.
I'll take Penn State.
You're going to take Penn State. Yeah. I don't like James Franklin, so I'm going to take Boise State. James Franklin, he just bald and he smells. So that's my reasoning.
I don't know where you came up with that, but okay.
He's bald and smelly.
Yeah.
Notre Dame in Georgia. This is the big one. Georgia -1. Georgia's the 2nd seed. Notre Dame's 7th.
Now Georgia is without their starting quarterback.
Allegedly without Carson Beck.
I think they will be without Carson Beck.
Yeah, his arm was hanging pretty limp. Yeah. I don't know, but I still like the Dogs. I just despise Notre Dame, and I'm betting with my heart, not my head. Either head, but it's going with Georgia. Dave.
Davis, what was the question again?
This pains me because if we go back about 43 years ago, Georgia played Notre Dame in the national championship, and Georgia won.
Did you just look that up?
Herschel Walker.
Oh, 80. That's right. Okay.
Vince Dooley.
That's right. And I was a huge Georgia fan back then. I mean, I loved Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker, like the push-ups every day. I remember my father be like, Herschel Walker does 3,000 push-ups and 3,000 sit-ups a day.
He does.
I was just trying to get to 100,
Well, he's got multiple personality disorder now.
He did. Well, that was part of his book. You're watching the 30 for 30, where he was.
Oh yeah,
he's going to be the ambassador to the Bahamas, I think, or to Jamaica.
That's perfect.
That's
perfect
right.
That is great.
Yeah.
They should have made Ricky Williams the ambassador to Jamaica. Anyway, so this pains me to say this. The reason why I'm saying this is I was such a huge Georgia fan as a kid, but I like Notre Dame's head coach. Like he's very likable.
You like Marcus Freeman?
I do. I like him.
I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
I think
it was because it was a rush to hire. It was a hire on emotion. He lost in Northern Illinois. He had the worst start.
That's his only loss
this year, but overall, he had the worst start of any coach in Notre Dame history. He started off 0-4, counting the bowl game and then the first 3 games last year. I don't think he deserved an extension.
I'm 100% going with Notre Dame now.
Well, Notre Dame did the same thing with Charlie Weiss. He had one good year. They gave him a 10-year extension, and they regretted it after 2. Because in 2009, Andre Dixon ran a touchdown and scored to beat them in overtime, and Charlie Weiss was fired.
Here's what we've learned with every offensive coordinator under Belichick. Okay, this is what we've all learned. We've all learned that it was Tom Brady and not any of the offensive coordinators.
Exactly.
None of them did shit.
I think
Tom Brady threw the ball, and it was Tom Brady and Belichick probably keeping Tom Brady from chasing other women all that time. And
and he ran the defense. Yeah,
that's it. And then Giselle dumped him for a trainer. Which, by the way, if I was Tom Brady,
right, they got divorced. That's right.
I would be I would think to myself,
that's why he's getting Botox.
What more does a man have to do in this world to get the best?
Well,
I am the greatest quarterback of all time. Won the most Super Bowls. He's a good-looking guy. He's smart.
Yeah, but he's not packing heat.
He must not bring it.
No, I saw it. I've seen him in the shower. He's not packing heat.
Who cares? Pay somebody else to do the work, and you still be there.
Hey, there's Cutler's in the background.
Yeah,
hi Cutler.
Right,
he's waving.
Yep.
Cutler, who'd you vote for?
Bernie Sanders.
Was he on the ballot?
No.
Was he on the ballot? No. He's never going to reveal who he voted for.
Right.
Can we bribe him?
No.
Yeah.
If my son is untouchable.
If we give him like $1,000, can we tell
Peanuts? Peanuts.
Okay. Well,
so here's my quick point on that in this game, Notre Dame, Georgia. Both teams are probably in the top 3 in the country in scoring defenses.
Defensively, yes.
Right. So I know Notre Dame gives up about 13 a game. I think Georgia's a little better than that. So I would take the under. And I'm going to take Notre Dame. Notre Dame's getting a point, right?
Yeah.
I would take the under, and I would take Notre Dame just because. And granted, all the hype around Georgia's backup quarterback that came in and did a fantastic job, great athlete.
Yeah.
But I think it's a stretch to get a guy ready in a week's time
for Notre Dame.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to take Notre Dame. I'm going to take +1 with it, and I'm going to say take the under.
Okay. Well, you heard it first. Another stellar episode of Moneyline, only on 97.9 Unity Radio, the best sports talk show.
Where's the music? Money, 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 money.
It's coming. Dave's putting it together. Dave's doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, give us a little OJ. Is it copyright? You got to pay for that?
Yeah, you know what? They always demonetize. I have to go through this whole thing every time. But we have this music. We still did. Still that.
This does nothing unless I'm a male prostitute earning money for
Make it rain, baby. Make it rain, Ernie. I'm making it rain right now.
We got to get something else.
I'm non-binary.
What if we got an independent band to play money? By the OJs.
No, you can play it. No one's going to complain on Unity Radio. No, there's no.
There's no one watches Unity Radio.
A little
right?
No, it's just the radio.
They do. They just sit there and look at their radio.
It's just move through. That's from the Jersey Shore.
That's money coming in right there.
All right, for the voice of reason, Frank Cristiano, and the coach himself, the next greatest influencer with 1.8 million viewers.
Wait a minute.
We got that many just during the show.
700,000 viewers just added on?
Just added on.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm going to start calling you Dave D'Amelio.
And we have Rebel
D'Amelio.
Dave D'Amelio.
Rebel Republic, the show of all shows, coming up next.
Yep.
The only conservative talk show in all of Massachusetts.
All Massachusetts. And this, first of all, I think Ernie is a figment of your imagination.
Right, he is.
I haven't seen, heard, been affected by Ernie whatsoever.
Okay. Dave, you're going to send me the link and we're good to go. And we're going to go to the bathroom. And
I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to get myself a coffee. I'm going to pour it down my throat.
Yeah, you'll be ready to go. And you won't have to ask what the question was.
The starch from the raviolis is
it's
kicking in now.
It's hit hard, dude. It's hit hard.
So
carb coma.
Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Take 2 oranges and throw them back.